Part 2 of our research paper. We've already done when it happened and where it happened. Okay, and if you're not sure on that, look at video number 1. This is number 2. I'm going to look at how it happened and how was the area devastated. How, this might be something as simple as the change in the weather. It might be something that, it might be a change in the temperature. It might be, I know one of the fires was because of a person. So it might be a person that did it. It might be, if it was an earthquake, it might be a change in the plates of the earth that they shifted. Okay, so it could be something as simple as a temperature, and it could be something as simple as weather change. But I gotta remind you that this information is going to be tough to read. So I'm going to go back to this website that I was looking at earlier. Okay, and I'm going to look at how it started. How did this thing start? See if it has on here. This talks about all the different areas it was hitting. Round 2. This is the lasting impacts. That's something else I'm going to have to look at. So this one doesn't really have how it started and what caused it. It has how much damage was caused, and that's good. So I'm going to go back to my place, and I'm going to look at this next one. I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to click on this one and see what they have. Okay. And it's reading me. Here it is. Ivan was here. So I'm going to... oh, look at that. So they're saying that in North Carolina, Hurricane Matthew, see, every hurricane is named, and they take turns going between girl names and boy names, okay? But they do alphabetically. So they'll start with A and work their way down. So when they work down and get down to an M, they've had a lot of I'm not sorry, not earthquakes, but hurricanes that year. It dumped 5 inches of rain over 2 days in Marietta. Okay. Let's see. It says that the Weather Service posted a flood warning for a crest of 38 feet. Could you imagine 38 feet waves? A water getting up 38 feet? That's like 3 stories of a building. A 3-foot over flood stage, but not serious flooding. Locals were vigilant about hoping that major flooding would be averted. National Weather Service lifted the flood warning entirely on Friday, predicting the crest would flood. There was relief. Flood preparation stopped. People went home believing there was no threat. Okay. And this gives a person's actual story about how they went into the bank. Look at that. Look at that. They're right up by the railing, and they're floating around. Okay, they're down frantic. Still, look at this. Down the street instead of driving, they're in their boat. I know there's fascinating pictures. But now, this is giving me life stories, and that's great and amazing. And oh, look at this. The water's like, going into the cobbler, the shoe store. Okay. Oh, look at this. It tells you how much all the different hurricanes cost us. My goodness, that's amazing. So what I'm finding, and I know I'm kind of babbling here, but you know what? This is what happens when we do research. This really didn't tell me how it started. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go to this other website. I'm going to go here. This is a great search engine site. Okay. So I'm going here, and I'm going to do there, and I'm going to do, how did Hurricane Ivan start? Or what weather caused? I could do that. What weather caused? What weather caused? And I could do that for most of my floods, my hurricanes, maybe fires, maybe because it could have been a very hot, dry summer. Caused Hurricane Ivan. And notice this is KidRex, so these are going to be kid-friendly searches. So these are going to be websites that are a little more friendly for me. So I'm going to move it over here. This is the weather.gov. Okay. This is from, let's see, Alabama. One's over here. Hurricane Ivan. Weakened only to a Category 3. I'm not seeing anything off the top of my head, but I'm going to go to this weather one first. Now, what I can do, I can right click on it and it's going to open in a new link. That keeps this open and it just opens up a brand new link. I'm going to click on it up on top. So here's the National Weather Service. Okay, here it is. Maybe it's going to tell me how it did it. Now this part could be very hard to understand. It could be written in older people's words. Okay, let's see. Okay, this microbarograph, that's the picture, shows the pressure with time as the western eyeball approached the National Weather Service in Mabel. Minimum pressure that was located 32 miles of the eye. The eye is the center of the hurricane. This is going on about all kinds of stuff that's way beyond me, so I'm going to skip that. Let's see. It had 120 mile per hour winds and a historic storm surge. Magnitude, extent of the damage and destruction over Alabama, Santa Rosa counties, and Northwest Florida, both of two different hurricanes. Well, that's great. Okay, so is it telling me how it started? And I know this is really tricky. It looks like there was pressure. So there's some pressure involved. And I know just because of my knowledge, that's a low pressure and that. But I'm looking. There was, okay. This is not helping me at all. So wind, this tells me about the wind. Okay, this is a loss of power lines. Well, this is good, but I'm going to go back to this search, and I'm going to try another one, okay? On this day, Hurricane Ivan made its first landfall. Right-click, open in a new tab, and go to this one and see what this one has. Ooh, cool picture. Over a decade, one of the country's most deadly and destructive tropical systems sets its sight on the U.S. Gulf Coast. First landfall. Oh, this is what I was looking at before. Isn't it? That was one of those first websites. Don't want that one. I have that one. Okay. Hurricane Science. Okay. This one could be right-click, open in a new tab. Okay. Oh, it originated from a tropical wave moving off the west coast of Africa. Favorable conditions allowed the system to develop more deep convection and become a tropical depression. So basically, I can say it started as a tropical wave, it turned into a tropical depression, and then over 12 hours later, it upgraded to a tropical storm. It became Hurricane Ivan in September with 1,000 miles east of Tobago. Okay, so this is a great website. So I'm going to say it started as a tropical wave off of Africa. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to say it started as a tropical wave off of Africa. And then what happened? What was the next part? It became a tropical depression on September 2nd. Became a tropical depression on September 2nd. And I know that the hurricane hit on the 16th, so this is all the background information that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go back here, and then 12 hours later, it was upgraded to a tropical storm. And it strengthened as it did. It became Hurricane Ivan on the 5th of September. The hurricane intensified rapidly, reaching a Category 3. So it really just continued to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so it quickly turned into a tropical storm and continued to grow. And then I'm going to find when it actually turned into a hurricane. It reached a Category 3 on September 5th, and then it weakened a little bit, and then it grew back up, so it got strong and weak. Let's see. and then it attained Category 5 for the first time. Wow, and then 2 more times. So on the 6th, it was a Category, on 5th, it was a Category 3, and by the 9th, it was a Category 5. That's important. On the 5th, it was a Category 3. By the 9th, a Category 5. That's important. And that's telling me how big and how dense it is. The hurricane's center passed Jamaica. We can back down to a 4. It kept going up and down. Okay. Past extreme coast of Cuba on the 13th, but again weakened to 4. On 16th, there came a landfall in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and weakened rapidly over ground, becoming a tropical depression later that day. Rain and tornadoes of the south. Oh, wow. So when it hit land, it turned back into a tropical depression. Okay, that's interesting. By the time it hit land in Alabama, it was a tropical depression. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure I take that website because that's an important website. Again, I'm going to go up to here, and I'm sorry the length of this one was much longer than the other one, but I'm showing you how sometimes research can take a little bit of time. I'm going to Control-C, that copies it. I'm going to go back down here because this helped me answer question number 1. I'm going to Control-V, enter, and there's my 2 websites. And I'm having a little bit of how it happened. If I find this is hard to understand, I'm going to keep looking at different websites to find one that is easy to understand. How the area was devastated, I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to do that in my next video because we're going to change that up a little bit. So I'm going to do that one in green. Okay? We're going to wait on that one. Okay? So do well. If you have questions, please let me know. But obviously, this how it happened is very, very detailed and can be very confusing. But that's where all the meat of your information is going to be.